one classic Fender Ash Telecaster into three classic rock and roll amps. Original Vintage 52 pickups in this thing. Can it rock all three of them with equal aplomb? We're going to find out today right here on GearGasms. Hi everybody, welcome to GearGasms. I'm your host Alan Barnes. Today we have right here a lovely Fender Ash Telecaster. Now this was a Deluxe Telecaster, Deluxe Ash. That's not to be confused with the Telecaster Deluxe, whole different beast. It came with the regular made in Mexico ceramic pickups. I swapped them out with the Fender Original Vintage 52 pickups. Now, if you've seen past videos, you know I'll take Telecasters and I'll throw them into the strangest places. I'll put them into some high gain sound and I'll play Iron Maiden on it. I'll take a Telecaster and play War Pigs by Black Sabbath. I don't even give a shit. But I never did it with this one here. I always did it with ones that had hotter pickups. But I just was curious to see if this guy could handle the 3 amps we're going to throw at it today. The 3 amps that we're going to throw at it today: Fender Blues Jr, Marshall DSL100 half stack, and the Mesa Boogie Mark V, the 25 watt into a Mesa Boogie single 12 cabinet. We're going to run through all the pickup combinations and see if this thing is versatile enough to be paired well with all 3 of those amps. Now the first thing we're going to pair this Telecaster with, as classic as it is a classic amp right there. The Fender Blues Jr, wrapped beautifully in tweed. It's just a perfect aesthetic match for this guitar as well as the sonic one as well. This is the place we go where we want to get all those classic Telecaster tones that we think about. Of course, this Tele with the original Vintage 52 pickups, they're a little rounder than their ceramic counterparts, not quite so ice picky. You can still get all the treble stuff that you want to. And even if you go really close to the bridge, you want to get really plinky with it. Of course, the lacquered fingerboard and neck, although I sort of hated that initially, it really gives it that classic Tele pop, and it just sort of makes you want to play more percussively just to get that snap. The middle position. It makes you want to do that funky stuff. That middle Tele position sounds so sweet. Just sort of makes you want to just really play poppy. You want to just play these notes and just have them sort of slap. Of course, the middle position will also give you all those classic acoustic style strummy things. You could just sort of lastly, the neck position. The neck position on a lot of Teles doesn't get a lot of love, but these pickups, again, they're just rounder, sort of more syrupy, for lack of a better term, but you can hear it in the single notes. course, the rhythm pickup also gives you sort of a nice strummy kind of thing. So that's kind of what you expect it to do into a Fender amp. It does all those things. It's absolutely gorgeous. I could live with this guitar plugged into this amp and nothing in between, just the way I have it set up now. I could live with that setup forever. But the explorer in me makes me go, what happens if I plug it into the Marshall? What happens if I plug it into the old Mesa Boogie and we give it a crunch treatment and then a full balls to the wall heavy metal rock treatment? Well, this very classic Telecaster with the 52 original vintage pickups, will it be up to the task? Before I forget, it's t-shirt shout out time. Keith Richards is my spirit animal. If you equip yourself with a Blonde Ash Tele, a Blackguard classic, then the first thing I think of is Keith Richards. GearGasms number of the week is 5. That's how many kids Keith Richards has. Can you believe that? But if Keith Richards has 5 kids, that means at least 5 times in his life, 1 or more women have allowed this zombie of a man to go full-on raw dog on that. So picture that, ladies. Keith Richards a couple inches away from your face, that hot whiskey mixed with heroin breath just pumping straight up your nostrils. He's throwing his shoulder in it. His sweat runs right down his nose and drips onto your face. Just when you think you're about to throw up, the magic happens and boom, you won the lottery because you're going to have Keith Richards' baby. All right, here's where it gets interesting. I've now plugged this straight into the Marshall. We're on the clean/crunch channel. We're in crunch mode with the gain not fully dimed. We'll start off with the old bridge pickup here. So we'll still do all that rocky rolly stuff. Now you notice you still have that kind of chewy, gooey, good character in the single notes that we had on the perfectly clean. Even through a Marshall, you can get that on the middle position. You still get that sort of, I don't know what to call it, except good. All right, let's go up to the damn neck position. Of course, you're still going to get the gooey goodness here. I'll give you a chord. High single note, still retain definition. A lot of times weaker pickups, when you overdrive them too much, you put them into a too overdriven amp, they sort of lose their character and they become sort of anonymous. But these, you can still really hear the character even though there's a little bit of hair on it. Now these original vintage 52 pickups, low output that they are, they have survived the first test. Obviously, they survived the crunch test with flying colors. Now we're putting this thing into a skull-cracking heavy metal setup, It's in the Mark IV mode. Now we're going to see if these pickups fall short. We're going to hear it for the first time together. First of all, woo, those single coils are noisy into that beast. But I don't know if you're hearing what I'm hearing. It's kind of just okay-ish for power chords and playing. Let's try some single notes. Let's do something ultra cliche. Yeah, but this guy here with the original vintage, I don't think it's a good match, but we'll just sort of do a little something with it and see what we get. There's probably no need to this, but let's try the middle position. Oh, metal fail. Neck pickup. Maybe we can get something kind of greasy and good out of this. Thinking a lead tone. So the jury is back with a verdict. Not the guitar for playing metal, but you could certainly play this with a Mesa and get some really, really cool tones. Again, sort of classic rock, blues rock, really saturated stuff. You're not going to get the sustain. You're not going to get the note definition and the evenness across the strings, the compression, if you will, that you get from obviously a humbucker or a higher gain output pickup. So this guitar and this amp, they can sort of be frenemies, maybe. Well, what did we learn today? We learned that this here guitar with its classic formula, the recipe that's been in effect since the 50s all the way through now, plays very well with the Fender Blues Jr. Also plays very, very well with a dirty classic plexi type cranked Marshall, but doesn't get along so hot with a Mesa Boogie or a modern rectifier style, heavily gain saturated type of amp. We also learned that if a horribly ugly, disgusting zombie of a man like Keith Richards can make 5 babies, there's no reason for you to be sitting home on a Saturday night tugging it to Pornhub or whatever it is the hell you do when you're not watching this channel. You need to get out there, get on your bicycle, ride up the street, meet a girl or two, and develop some skills. As always, I thank you for your time. I wouldn't be here if you guys weren't still coming here, and I certainly appreciate that you do. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, all that other horse patootie that I'm supposed to say at the end of my videos. I really still need subscribers, so if you have some friends and you think that maybe they've got an enormous amount of time to waste on just a mediocre YouTube personality, send them my way. But whatever you do in the next 7 days, I hope you have fun doing it, and I really hope to see you here again next week on GearGasms.